Welcome back. The thoughts of Antonio Conte in just a couple of moments. It will be a rather different challenge next time the Chelsea players take to the pitch here at Stamford Bridge up against Barcelona. But tonight was all about building confidence and crucially getting through to the quarter-finals. He's with Reshmin.
Great start, a really professional performance. You must be really pleased with that.
Yeah, good game, good performance. After the first half, I think that to score 4 goals, and it was great. It was great for us, and the most important thing is that we are the next round. Now we have to prepare the game against Barcelona.
Were you surprised by how one-sided the game was, that you were so dominant today?
No, but you hope to have always a game and to try to dominate the game. But I think our start was impressive today, and we started with great focus, with great concentration, with great will to score and to go to the next round. I'm very pleased for the commitment of my players.
And how important was it to come through this game with no injuries, knowing that you've still got some really key players who you rested today, like Edin, like N'Golo Kante, like Azpilicueta, who you can use, and they'll be fresh for Barcelona?
Yeah, for sure. It was a positive night for us because we had the opportunity and without to pay to rest 3 important players, 3 key players for us, and but at the same time, I saw players in a good form, and to have a lot of doubt before the game against Barcelona, I think is important, because I have different options. Now we have 3 days to try to make the best decision for the game against Barcelona.
And what's changed in the last 2 games? It's been couple of really big victories after a bit of a tough period. What is different about the team now and the mentality now?
I think that we lost 2 bad games, and especially the games against Watford. But we played that game at the end of a busy period, a very busy period, and I think that we paid a lot to this busy period. Now, I think again the right confidence, but at the same time, don't forget that now in the next 2 weeks we have to play massive games, and must be strong to face in the right way the game against Barcelona, against United City, then Crystal Palace, and then against Barcelona. But we are ready.
Thank you, Antonio. Congratulations. Thank you.
Well, they needed these last 2 wins, didn't they? But let's remind ourselves, it's against a team struggling in the Championship and the team rock bottom of the Premier League. There are far bigger tests to come for this Chelsea side over the next couple of weeks.
There are, but they had just lost to Bournemouth and Watford. They needed to bounce back, and bounce back they have. And you know, there were question marks about whether Antonio Conte had lost the players after those defeats. Clearly he has not. It was about attitude tonight, and they had a tremendous attitude, started the game strongly, and the ability to blood youngsters as well. I thought, Ampadu at the back was sensational.
Yeah, let's talk then about the youngsters, if that's what you want to discuss. It's the perfect opportunity in many ways for these big teams, the FA Cup, isn't it? To give young players a chance. It was almost full here in Stamford Bridge tonight, and it's an opportunity that they took, these Chelsea players.
Well, especially Ampadu, he started the game. Mr. Scott, he came on, and he was flying about as well. I mean, this is such a talented group. This is Hudson-Odoi, normally plays wide, but getting on the ball. And look, it's a lot easier when you're up 4-0, but it's great to see some of these youngsters come through. There's too many good players there. They need to find a way to bring them into the first team, because I just think there's a real opportunity. The fans loved it. I think it was great for Conte, and I think I agree with Chris. I think they're really playing for their manager after what was a difficult spell.
It's one thing though getting an opportunity in an FA Cup game when you're 4-0 up, and it's another one breaking through and getting chances in the Premier League and the Champions League for Chelsea. Isn't
Yeah,
it? That's the next step.
absolutely is. But what you would say is Ampadu especially seems to be 17 years of age to come in and show that confidence and that swagger. He's the one who really looks like he's going places.
And also Conte's a manager who needs to trust his players, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, I mean, all managers, want to do that. But I think the players have faith in Conte. They want to play for Conte.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Tuesday night is going to be one hell of a contest. And, Conte seems to like a scrap. He likes adversity, bounces back, never say die attitude. And I think, that you can tell that in the way his teams play.
Okay, well, let's talk then about Tuesday. Let's talk about the Barcelona game, live on BT Sport, of course. We've spoken a fair bit about Willian. What does he still need to do, do you think, to convince his manager? He's only started 5 of the last 10 games.
I'm not sure. Every time I watch Willian play, I just think he looks a touch of class. I mean, Nigel Atkins before the game said they needed a bit of magic. The real magic on this pitch today was Willian. I just thought his quality, his end product, his ability in possession, everything that he offers. He can play left, he can play right, play in the midfield 3. He's exceptional in possession.
But this must be something that Conte just doesn't...
Well, do you know what? If that was an audition tonight for Tuesday night against Barcelona, then he's, how can he leave him out?
I think it's a product of their system. The wing backs, maybe he just doesn't fit in, maybe in the way that they play. But if you watch his performance, especially today, he was by far the best player on the pitch. I think against Barcelona, you're going to need a player that's very good in possession. They might only have 30% possession. He doesn't really lose the ball ever, and he can play on the counter-attack wonderfully, and he's a good finisher.
It's a big call, isn't it? It's going to be Pedro or Willian, and Willian hasn't done himself any harm. Those goals, he's a player full of confidence.
Set piece as well, free kicks. He's one of the best in Europe on free kicks. I just think he almost picks himself. I'd be surprised if he didn't play against Barcelona.
Okay, and his goals and assist stats are pretty much double Pedro's so far this season. Let's talk also about Olivier Giroud. We had a little mention when we saw his goals being scored there. He absolutely gives Chelsea that focal point up front, doesn't he?
Yeah, point of reference, as Antonio Conte calls it.
Yeah.
I think, they need a number 9 to be on top of the game against the likes of Barcelona. And I think he's as good as there is with his back to goal. I think he's got tremendous awareness. He gets himself in the box. He actually has a look at this. He should score. If he hits the target from there, he should score. But he's a player I really like. He can pin defenders, as you see there, lays it off. Nice touches. And, the likes of Willian, the likes of Hazard will really enjoy playing with him. Tremendous finish there.
Yeah, I'm with Chris. I think he brings players into play as good as anyone. Again, you think about that Barcelona game, they're not going to have much possession. They're going to have to get it up to somebody. To bring Morata off the bench with his pace on the counter-attack, I think suits Chelsea perfectly. Having that player almost as a wall player, I think Giroud is as good as anyone at that. And to think about the 2 games, West Brom and today, I know the opposition isn't of the highest quality, but he was involved in so many moments in the game that actually affected the game positively. And Chelsea look confident with him leading the line.
And Conte talks about him as a point of reference. He's also a point of difference, isn't he? He gives Chelsea an option that no other player in this squad gives them.
Yeah, I think so. And Morata, injury problems, a little bit of a loss of form. When they played Hazard in that central area, I think the last 3 games, lost to Arsenal, lost to Bournemouth, lost to Watford. It's a much needed signing. He didn't like Batshuayi. They've got Giroud in. And the West Brom, the link up between him and Hazard, it was telepathic almost. So they're going to enjoy playing with him.
Look, let's have a look at the fixtures then, because Chelsea have got a big few games coming up. If you'd have taken a look at these Barcelona games after their 2 defeats against Bournemouth and against Watford, you would have feared the worst. How much of those consecutive wins, albeit against very different opposition, change your view of what might happen here on Tuesday night?
Well, it's nice to see Conte smiling. I think this will give them a bit of confidence. 2 clean sheets, scoring plenty of goals as well. But there's no denying those fixtures, Barcelona, Man United, City, Barcelona, is going to be a true test. But I think last season, as Chris said, he was up to the challenge. Conte found a solution. I think against all those teams, they're not going to be the favourite. They're not going to have the majority of the possession. I think that suits Chelsea. Play on the counter-attack. Hazard, Willian, Morata, all these types of players, they might have the perfect recipe to punish some of these teams.
They've got the talent.
They have, and they have match winners in Hazard. They now have a focal point up top, and they will be dogged. They'll defend with real determination and organisation. It'll be a good contest.
Oh, I can't wait. and I'll be on my sofa watching that one. Okay, there's been another game this evening in the FA Cup. Leicester are also through to the quarter-final. They overcame Championship side Sheffield United. Mahrez is back, and Mahrez is getting assists. Look, this is like 2 years ago all over again. Mahrez to Jamie Vardy.
He's a beautiful player to watch, Mahrez, honestly. Makes goals and makes things happen. Just got a wonderful left foot. How good a ball, and is that header from Vardy? Wonderful.
It's a good ball, but what about the header? Brilliant header back across the goalkeeper. And do you know what, Leicester? Sneaky feeling about them in the FA Cup.
Chris Sutton-esque. It's like 96 all over again. What, you fancy Leicester for the FA Cup?
Well, just Claude Puel, the story. You know, discarded by Southampton. Mahrez is back on side.
We shall
Vardy.
see. We shall see.
You never know.
Listen, thank you very much for your company this evening, gentlemen. All of our mouths are starting to freeze up now here pitchside. Thank you for being with us as well. Don't forget you can see the NBA All-Star Game starting tonight at midnight, and then it's a busy weekend of FA Cup action for you here on BT Sport. We'll see you tomorrow for plenty more football. Good night from the bridge.